Hi everybody. Sorry that that I was away for so long. I had a lot of family over, and so that tends to be the time of year where my family loves to get together and exchange presents, and it only happens like maybe once or twice a year usually, so. But I hope everyone had a really good Christmas, and it's currently Christmas in my game right now because I got kind of behind in Dafdilly while I had family over. I did play in Dafdilly some and even worked on some new paths, but as far as like progressing through time, I got kind of behind. So maybe that's what we can do a little bit today, is kind of play through some days in Dafdilly, and I can show you the paths that I've been working on, and we can talk about Christmas and what we got and everything like that.
Nintendo.
The good old cute Nintendo screen. I love that little Animal-East style voice that says Nintendo at the beginning. And there's Butch walking around. He's wearing the classic blue sweater that a lot of my villagers are wearing right now. And we'll load up with Twisk, my main character. Although I have been playing as the other characters a fair amount lately because of having to work on paths and stuff, so they've gotten some use lately. I did kind of want to like keep an eye out for outfits at the Able Sisters that might look cute for them, like sweaters and hats and things that'll look good for my side characters. Twisk is all done up for winter, but some of my side characters aren't. So today's the 25th, so today's we've gone back in time to Christmas. Oh my, look at my mailbox. Looks like a lot of these are from Tom Nook, and also like my mom and the snowman. So there's quite a bit of things there. I need to clear out quite a bit of room to take all those letters. And I've also been fishing some in downtime because so many of my villagers have fishing hobbies, and it's also just a really fun pastime in Animal Crossing. I find it kind of very satisfying to go fishing and make some money and see how many like rare fish you can catch and things like that. It's just a really satisfying, long-lasting hobby for me. So I did build a perfect snowman. I've built a few that are kind of subpar, but I've managed to build I think 1 or 2 perfect ones. Got a snowman TV from him. And I always feel guilty like throwing away these letters from mom, or like any sort of like sentimental letters from villagers. I think it's kind of a shame to get rid of those, but just looking at what my mailbox needs space for right now, I guess I kind of have to. That's still not enough room? Wow, I almost had like a full box to deal with. So this is from Bob. He has a birthday on January 1st. Oh wow, I didn't know that Bob's birthday was New Year's Day. We'll have to make sure to go to his party. It's a pastel.rug. I actually ordered that for Bob because Bob has a really horrendous carpet right now. So let's clear out some of these Tom Nook letters, because the Tom Nook letters I for sure have absolutely no qualms with throwing these away. So this letter from Mom. Are you coming home for the holidays? Don't worry, we found the hamster and gave it a proper burial. Your dad cried. You know, I saw this letter on Twitter actually, because I follow JVGS Jeff on Twitter, and he posted about a few like downer letters like that he got in Animal Crossing Wild World around Christmas time. And apparently that letter about the dead hamster is kind of a reference to a letter in the GameCube version that's something about how we never found Cindy's hamster or something. And so it's like a reference from one letter in Wild World to another letter in the GameCube version. It's just the most obscure Easter egg I think I've ever seen. And it's really impressive that they would think of to do something like that. So these letters from Nook, they were modern items because Butch is one of my few villagers right now who doesn't have a fishing hobby, so thought I'd make sure to help out the one villager that's not bugging me to go fishing all the time, and help him out with his hobby. He's collecting chic furniture, and I looked it up, and the chic furniture in this game can be anything from like regal or classic to modern, and I feel like modern fits Butch best. That's always been Butch's classic house, is the modern furniture. So it's a bummer you have to open each and every one of these letters before you toss it. I already kind of know the gist of what all these Tom Nook letters say. And the raven pole is something random. That must just be from like one of my villagers sending good cheer for the holidays. So now our box is all good and taken care of. Let's see if I can straighten out my inventory a little more. I can at least drag like one tool to my pockets. And I'm not sure whether I should go straight to Nook or straight to Butch, because I have so much stuff in my pockets for Butch. Maybe it'll be worth it just to go talk to him and see if he asks for one of those furniture pieces right away, so I can get rid of one of them straight away. And the way that the furniture collecting hobbies usually work for villagers in Wild World is that like you give them a present, and then all you have to do is kind of usually walk out of their house and back into their house and see where they place the furniture, and then you just talk to them a few times and they'll ask for another new one. So it's pretty easy to help them out with the furniture collecting hobbies quite a bit. Oh, and this is Bob. I kind of like misremembered which one was Butch's house, but yeah, Bob's house is looking like really kind of sad and ugly right now. I was kind of hoping that the pastel dot rug that I ordered would look good in his house. I feel like the pastel dots would look better with this style of room than this like elegant flooring. Oh, hi Cosmic Peachy and Thunder. Oh, it's really good to see you all too. Thanks so much for coming in today. Did you all have a good holiday? And so Butch's house is down here. Oh, but I see Butch up there, so he's not in his house right now. He's wandering around up here. And I was gonna give him some of the stuff in my pockets that I ordered specifically for him. Is he telling me that I'm staying up late? They're always telling me I'm staying up late when I'm up at like 6 p.m. Sorry if I creeped you out there. Oh, so he was singing a town tune, probably from the town where he came from. Some of my villagers came from other towns. So, a while back someone threw a lipstick away around here. Thinking about who did it and why, well, I can't help but get a little scared. So I was hoping that Butch would ask me to help him out with his hobby, but he might not because he's holding like a net right now. So this is Butch giving us a hint about the turban. In this game there's like a series of trades you can do with the NPCs. And I think one of the first steps is giving Wendell a red turnip, and then he gives you a turban, and then you give the turban to Sahara. So it's kind of cool to see that the game gives you little hints like that. And I guess since Butch wasn't asking me for that furniture, I guess I'll just go ahead and go to Nook's first and get rid of some stuff in my pockets. Welcome, Twisk. We have our super sale in effect right now. All products are being offered at half price. Well, that's nice. A nice little sale here on Christmas Day. Yeah, for those who are just now coming in, my town's kind of behind right now. It's set to like December 25th, exactly Christmas time. Thought maybe this stream we could kind of catch up to real time, or at least progress a few days in Dafdilly. So up here, I can take a look at what items are half price today. I guess I do always like these flower furniture items. I think those are cute. Yeah, I mean, nothing's like jumping out for me, but I could buy some stuff for my villagers if I want to be nice. Like, I could see this going in Puddle's house. Puddle's has a very flowery house. Oh wow, 760 bells. That is a bargain. And got some blue furniture. can't really think who could need the blue furniture, so I'm not sure I can really make super great use of this sale, but maybe I can buy some flowers for like dirt cheap. So these are the flower bags over here, and let's see wow, only 32 bells. And I'll probably buy any like red flowers in particular because I might work on like sprucing up my town for winter today, and I feel like the red flowers would look really nice against the snow and kind of go with the festive atmosphere I have going on. Your Christmas was good? Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Mine was really nice too. I took some time off from stream because I was hosting some family over here, and some of the family that I had over were like a bunch of little kids, like my nieces and nephews, and I figured it wouldn't be a really good stream environment anyways because they would be so loud and probably disrupt what I was doing, so I did get some nice stuff for Christmas though. I got this little headband thing and a few other hair accessories. My family knows that I really enjoy like these flower crowns and hair accessories like that, so it always makes a good gift for me. And I also got a Switch from my boyfriend, so I'm all set for Animal Crossing New Horizons when that comes out in a few months. I've already got my Switch ready, and I've got a few games for it. I went out to Walmart and bought like Mario Kart just so I could have something to play on my Switch and sort of practice using it. So I guess I bought the few flowers that I was interested in, some of these reddish flowers, and I guess I bought a yellow rose too. And I can kind of work on like arranging some gardens. I can show you all kind of what I was thinking. Like this area over here, it looks bad right now, kind of, I think. It looks kind of bad, but in the springtime it looks really nice. Like it looks super colorful and vibrant, and I was just thinking like for winter maybe I could kind of alter this a little bit and change the color scheme to just be mostly red flowers. And so then it would be like a nice little kind of red garden where it's like more winter themed than colorful themed. So I guess while I'm thinking about it, I can go ahead and drop off some of these red flowers that I just bought from Nook. And I hear someone walking around. Oh, this is Melba. Hey, a twist, buddy. Going out at night to walk around can be so exciting. It's kind of addicting. I think that means she has a walking hobby now. Maybe she switched from fishing to walking. I was just over at the museum checking out the collection, you know? Is it just me, or is the whole atmosphere over there kind of somber? It's usually so exciting. I wonder what's throwing off the vibe. I think I know what's throwing off the vibe, but Blathers actually has like a bit of a episode going on right now, which the episodes in Wild World are kind of like little backstories into who the characters are and little aspects of their personality. It kind of gives you some extra information about them. I really like the episodes in Wild World. I think they're really great for kind of expanding the world and learning more about the NPCs. Whereas in New Leaf, I feel like there weren't really quite as many opportunities to talk to the NPCs other than those amiibo cards. I guess if you did have the amiibo cards and figures, you could kind of scan them in and talk to them. Oh, look at this little baby snowman. Let's see what he says. I yearn for the warmth of a close-knit family. Of course, we'd have to live in sub-zero temperatures. At least we'd be hardy. So, I can't really tell if it used to be perfect or not, or it might be its last day of life. I don't know if it'll be there tomorrow. It's probably like on its way out. But I thought I would start by like looking for fossils and things, and then once those are all found, I can go over to Blathers and see what's going on with Blathers, because he does have an episode going on right now. Thanks for being my friend. You're always there for me, and I think that's great. I don't know what came over me, but when I saw you, I just had to tell you. Aw, that's sweet. And it always makes them happy after they say that to you. I do get that a lot from my normal characters. That's kind of one of their little dialogue pieces when you get close friends with them, I guess. They express their appreciation for you. I think all the characters in Wild World sort of have something like that. Like, I think even the cranky characters will say something similar where it's like, you know I'm grumpy sometimes, but I just want to tell you that I've learned a lot from you, actually. Like, Butch is the resident cranky, so you can try to listen out to see if Butch ever says something like that to us. I feel like they do. And, Puddles is pinging me. Oh, hey there, Sunshine. I'm thinking of getting a new pet fish. What should I name it? I need a name that's super cute. So what should we name the fish? It's funny because Mittens is the name of my cat, but I don't feel like it's a good name for a fish. Orville, Carpo, or Goldie. I feel like Goldie's the one that makes the most sense. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, really cool. Thanks, Splish. Since you helped me with my new fish, I'll give you this. And take care of it, okay? It wasn't easy finding a rose wall, so don't go crazy and drop chocolate ice cream on it. So, that was just a fun little exchange with Puddles. And we found the first snowball. As Animal Crossing usually goes, it's like as you're working on one thing, like right now I was trying to like find the fossils and stuff, and something else usually grabs your attention, like the snowball. Let's see if I can roll it to like a good spot to build a snowman, and then I guess I'll just have to keep an eye out for the other snowball. I think it would be fun if maybe in New Horizons, like you could make like 3 snowball snowmen, because that's actually what I consider the most classic vision of a snowman, is the 3-layer snowmen. But I guess the 2-ball snowmen have been around for a while. It's definitely very classic. Oh, I'm rolling it on the dirt. Rolling the snowball in the dirt is actually how they shrink, and rolling it on the snow here is how they get bigger. Have you all been building mini snowmen in your Animal Crossing towns? Like, have you been collecting any of the snowman furniture, or Snow Boy or Snow Lady furniture in New Leaf? I remember I was really excited to collect the Snow Lady ice furniture when New Leaf first came out. But one of the ones that I still haven't really managed to collect after all this time is both the snowman furniture, like with the bingo game, and the Snow Boy furniture with all that cute little ski furniture. I think that's a really cute set by the Snow Boys, all those skiing equipment items. But yeah, I haven't really been able to collect all those in all my time playing New Leaf. Probably partly because I've been so inconsistent with playing in real time. You know, I'm always like in a different season than it really is. But yeah, it would be really interesting to like see if anyone out there has played New Leaf like super consistently and hasn't put down their town at all in those 5 or 6 years that it's been out, and maybe they've collected like every single item the natural way or whatever. That would be really fun to hear from someone like that. So this is where my other snowman is. I thought maybe I could, since this is gonna be like a wintry forest, I was thinking, like I was talking earlier how I want to bring more like red flowers over here and stuff, I thought it might be nice to also have snowmen over here. So it's just a matter of like where I'm gonna plop it down. One problem I have with planning where snowmen are gonna be is that like there's so much dirt in Wild World. Like every few spaces there's another like big dirt patch, so I feel like it makes the most sense to put the snowballs on the snow, but there's just so much dirt everywhere. I feel like that's kind of a good spot though. It's close to the other snowman, and it's also close to, I think this is kind of a scenic spot near the like tree stump, but yeah, maybe another one could actually go in this fairy ring or something. Maybe that would be cute. I have to keep that in mind the next time that I see snowballs. Oh, did I accidentally dig up those flowers? I did. Oh, what a bummer. I didn't mean to do that. I'm always kind of like digging up the wrong things or kind of misusing my shovel. Yeah, see, I just did it just then. I meant to dig this up. I feel like it should be a little smarter. It should kind of see what you're doing and interpret it better. Are you gonna play on Suncomb? I could if you all want me to. Suncomb is currently behind in Autumn because, unfortunately, like, I was still kind of working on some paths in the Autumn version of Suncomb, and then I was hoping to do a nice little town tour of Suncomb once it's all done. And I don't feel too bad about like missing winter in Suncomb actually, because I spent a lot of time in Suncomb last winter. So I feel like I'm all kind of wintered out when it comes to that town. Oh, I keep missing the snowball. But yeah, I think spring and autumn really, really suit Suncomb a lot. So that's kind of my plans for the town, is to finish up with the autumn paths that I was working on for that town, and then make like a nice video which will serve as a memento, like a memento for years to come. I'll always be able to look back on that video and kind of remember the hard work I put into Suncomb. So that's kind of the goal. And then once I'm done with that, then I can kind of start playing in Suncomb in real time again, play through winter and spring. And I definitely also really want to put a lot of work into Suncomb in the springtime, because that town looks really good in spring too. Spring and autumn is when it looks the best. And usually I water my flowers like off stream, but it looks like there's quite a bit to water. I might have to do a bit of watering on stream, unfortunately. But also, it's good to see you, Pokemoon. I hope you're doing good and you had a good holiday, and I hope everyone has a fun New Year's Eve tomorrow and a happy New Year. So, I kind of like, I really want this to be a perfect snowman, because I've done a few perfect snowmen off stream, but I'm not sure if I've done a perfect snowman on stream yet. I would really like to see that moment where the snowman's actually happy that you built the snowman and isn't like mad at you. So let me just take a look at these snowballs. I feel like just a few more rolls on the dirt, and then it's gonna be like small enough in comparison to the other snowball to where it's perfect. I don't know. What do y'all think? Well, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm alive! Oh, rhapsodic, glorious day. This color, the shine, the shape. All flawlessly executed, and my face, perfection. You have molded me a body of the gods. I thank you. So that was a perfect snowman. I'm glad that I managed to make a perfect one. Though my body is cool, my soul is on fire. Oh yeah, that's me alright. I gotta write that down somewhere. So I guess now that the snowman is built, I can kind of go back to looking for fossils and things. And maybe to make the flower watering more fun later, I can kind of like time myself doing it and set a timer and see how quickly I can do it. Oh, here's one. Oh, it's actually a gyroid. And my pockets are full. Something that's kind of a bummer is I had to clear out a lot of my letters because I had a lot of mail this morning, but I usually like to actually use my letters for storage, so I'm kind of gonna run out of storage space for my tools, because I usually stuff the tools in the letters in my pockets. Let's see if there's anything on the bulletin board. Telling us about that half-price sale over at Nook's. And yet another point special on the 28th. So Nook's having lots of sales for the holidays. There's my two frogs walking around the town hall. And I'm gonna go see if I can clear anything out of my pockets. So we have... Oh, it's all the modern stuff that's really cluttering it up, honestly. And and snowman stuff. I think I might not be a pack rat with the snowman stuff this year. Sometimes I'm really bad about keeping things that are unsellable, but I just don't know if I can really see myself using the snowman stuff this year. And I don't need to be a pack rat in this game. We've got new games coming up, New Horizons, where I can be a pack rat again and try to collect everything. This town is more of like an easygoing town. I don't really feel like I need to have like every single item in my dressers. I'm already happy with how a lot of the things in this town are, so yeah, I just don't really need to like go crazy with the snowman furniture. But they do sell pretty good. Don't they usually sell for like 8,088 bells or something like that? Kind of a reference to how snowmen kind of look like little 8s when you build them. And so these are some of the new paths that I made for Dafdilly that I'm personally pretty happy with, considering the like pattern slot limitations that I have and also the palette limitations that I have. Like the only red color on that palette was this very, very bright red, so it is a little bright on the eyes, but I think it's about as good as I could get for like a spaced apart brick path at this time of year, and I do like that they're kind of red bricks to match the main path. And of course this path is still the nice festive one. I'll probably have this path in Dafdilly all winter because just because Bright Nights is in February, and Bright Nights is when the trees are all lit up and the houses around town are all lit up, so it just makes a lot of sense to keep the lights on the bushes until then. And I guess this is appropriate for today in my game. It's actually exactly the 25th in my game, but it's not going to be appropriate soon. I'll have to take down the Christmas trees in my room and take down the Christmas trees in my Animal Crossing house, because it's not Christmas anymore. So these are my dressers. Let's see if I have some room for any of this stuff. You can see I was being a pack rat with that snowman wall. It looks like I don't have a ton of room. I really want to find room though. Maybe I'll just set off a Christmas sparkler or two and get rid of a few of these things. And I can put away this feather. The feather is a rare item I'd like to keep. That's one of the Boondocks items. And the modern furniture is for Butch, but if Butch isn't going to ask me for it, I guess I'll have to find a new home for it temporarily before he starts asking me for the modern furniture again, because I do feel like that's still his hobby. He's just not asking for it right now. So I found 2 of the fossils for today so far, and I didn't really explore this side of town too much though, so I still have this side of town to look for the last fossil. And I thought maybe we could get rid of these sparklers by setting off a few of these for Christmas. Can walk over to this scenic spot and set off a sparkler. Warm ourselves up from the snow. I do feel like that's a popular thing to do for New Year's. Oh, hi Red! How are you? Yeah, I feel like this sparkler thing, like even though you get it actually I think in the summertime for the fireworks festivals for summer, I feel like it's really suitable for New Year's too. I know New Year's is when like my stores around here sell a lot of sparklers and you hear people setting them off around the neighborhood. Did you have a good holiday, Red Sea? It's really good to be back after a little while of not streaming, and really nice to get back into it and see everybody again. And I am a little, like, find myself a little nervous since I haven't streamed in a little bit. Like, it is kind of like, oh, how do you do this again? But I'm sure I'll get back into it pretty soon. So one of the next things I could do is try my best to water these flowers as soon as possible. Like maybe if I have like a timer, which I don't think I do, but It would be kind of fun to set like a timer to see how fast I can water the flowers. Maybe I can set my own little timer here. It's like 5:47. Let's see if I can water them in like 15 minutes or so. Oh, you miss seeing my streams? Oh, that means a lot. I'm so glad that you enjoy them, and sorry that I had to be away for a little while. I had some family over, so had to host them, and I had lots of little kids running around, and they're very noisy, so but that should be my last long break that I take for a while. I definitely hope to stream pretty consistently and stick to my schedule as much as possible in the lead up to New Horizons. I'd really like to try my best to get better as a streamer and grow and work on getting more and more comfortable with streaming in the lead up to New Horizons so that I can really do a good job of enjoying that game and making content for it. What's this up here? Is this like my pitfall? I feel like that could be my pitfall. Maybe I should try to dig it up though. Oh, it's a fossil. I wonder where I dug up my pitfall then. Usually I have a pitfall somewhere in town where I have it in an obscure location in town so that I don't fall into it every day, and I thought that that was going to be the pitfall, but it was actually the last fossil. Usually I would be hosting too, as well as cooking. Oh, did you get a break from doing that this year then? Yeah, I did get some help for cooking from like I work at Costco and we sell a lot of like pre-made meals and stuff, so kids really love macaroni and cheese, so I bought some of that pre-made Costco macaroni and cheese to make for like an easy meal for them. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and my nephews actually, like my baby nephews, they really enjoyed seeing like some of the video game stuff that I have. Like they're starting to get old enough to like want to play things like Mario Kart, so I tried to dust off my old Wii U's so that I could play Mario Kart with them, and I also have like a baby nephew that was really interested in what I was doing on my DS. Like he would look behind me and see what I was doing on the DS screen and like point out things like apple, orange, bridge, penguin. Like he was really good at kind of naming stuff that I was working on. And unfortunately there are quite a lot of flowers to water, so bear with me, but feel free to speak up in chat if you want to like talk about something or tell me how your holiday is, and we can kind of chat while we're watering flowers to make the time go by faster. Tomorrow I was thinking of doing like a special stream for the New Year's Eve countdown. I do have some more work possibly to do for it, like I thought maybe I could boot up Citaloon as well and do a countdown both in Wild World and New Leaf, possibly like at the same time. I think that might be a lot of fun. So tomorrow I might stream, even though Tuesday's usually one of my off days. I might stream for New Year's Eve. Your party this year was small, just my grandparents and my brother's friend. Oh, that still sounds like a nice time. It's good to have whatever company's available. And sometimes having like a really large like party at your house can be kind of stressful too. Sometimes the nice little like cozy get-togethers are also really nice and not quite as stressful and hard on resources like cooking and keeping things clean and everything like that. And this town on Christmas Eve, it was like snowing in a really pretty way, and I made this like I made this sort of a still video where I was just sort of hiding behind a tree, and it was this really scenic video of the snow falling and a cottage with the lights on in the distance, and I really liked how that came out, and it was a nice little memento to make for this town on Christmas Eve. I wonder how picky they are with like where you water the flower. Like I feel like I just watered that flower like kind of off center. I'm never really sure like how picky they are, because in this game they don't have those little sparkles that they adopted in New Leaf. In New Leaf, like the flowers really helpfully sparkle for you when you know that you've watered them, but in this game they didn't really add that yet, so it's just kind of a guessing of like, I hope I didn't miss the flower. But yeah, this is kind of like my blue rose garden, so it's important to get this area nice and watered so I don't lose any of these Jacob's ladders or blue roses or blue pansies. And this area over here that we're like walking towards right now, that's kind of another area that I was hoping to spruce up for the holidays. I was going to make like a nice little frozen pond, which this is just like a rough draft of it. In fact, like, I didn't even really make that from scratch. I basically took the pond that used to be there and just swapped out the colors to more icy ones. So to refine that pattern, I'll definitely want to kind of maybe more do it from scratch and not just edit what I already had and make a nice frozen pond to be the centerpiece for this little like lake area. I think it'll look cute with like all the red and white flowers around it, and I thought maybe I could draw some ice skates like at the edge of the pond as if you're about to go ice skating. Maybe I can even, instead of these scratches on the pond, maybe I can make like a figure 8 as if you're ice skating around the pond. You don't have Wild Worlds. Which Animal Crossing game do you play again? What's your favorite Animal Crossing game that you keep up with? I definitely really like to start adding more and more like towns and Animal Crossing games to add to stream and not just be playing in the same towns all the time, but it is tough because I'm also trying to juggle like other stream improvement types of things. Like I did work on some new overlays this past week, and there's also things to do like make alerts and just like lots of little things for behind the scenes when it comes to streaming, so sometimes that kind of slows me down as far as doing town work and preparing more towns to stream in. And so this is the cute little museum garden, and I guess while we're here, we did find all 3 fossils, so might as well go see Blathers and give him what we have so far. Just the GameCube version, but I'm ready to grab New Horizons when it's out. Oh, that's nice. The GameCube version is so classic, and I'd like to play that on stream some as well. And it's good to hear that you're ready to grab New Horizons when it comes out. That'll be so exciting. So this is Blathers, and he's gonna tell us what's wrong. You recall that I declared I'd work on conquering my fear of bugs, eh what? Yes, well, I've been doing my own special training. The means to which I have resorted are quite extreme, really. Oh, yes, indeed. Just thinking about it makes my belly burble, but I lay my great dictionary of insects before me, fight my gag reflex, and slowly run over my talon over each of the foul images. Ugh, the thought alone of those furtive caresses makes my gorge rise. The other day I opened the book to a close-up of a green caterpillar's face. I believe I may have pocket-retched a bit. So very vile. So this is, I guess, a episode that's definitely revolving around like Blather's fear of bugs, and it's kind of interesting to have a whole episode dedicated to it because I feel like this is already like a very classic aspect of Blathers that like everyone knows about. Everyone knows about Blather's fear of bugs, but they expand on it even more here in Wild World with this episode we're getting right now. So one of our fossils is a plesiotorso. And let's see what else they are. Hopefully some good selling fossils. Oh, I don't even know how to say that one. I wonder what that one is. I don't really know that one off the top of my head, whether that's kind of one of those flying dinosaurs or what that is. I feel like since it didn't say neck or head or anything like that, it must be kind of one of those ones that's just sitting on like a podium, like one of those podium fossils, like the fern fossil or the dinosaur egg. It must be one of those. So we've donated all the fossils. I thought maybe we could go get a cup of coffee at Brewster's. It would be really nice, like one of these days, to kind of play when KK Slider is here and get a live concert. There we go, at the perfect temperature to bring out the flavor. 176 degrees, one fresh brewed cup. Drink up. I like how ready for winter we look with our hat and our outfit and everything, and we're getting warm with some coffee. Bitter with a subtle mildness. This is the flavor of sophistication. At least they said that we're sophisticated this time. Sometimes he likes to give me the coffee that says it's for those with unrefined palates, so this time he gave me one that's more sophisticated. That's what I'm more excited for. I can't wait to see KK Slider. Oh, do you mean like in New Horizons? Yeah, that's something I haven't really thought about, is how KK Slider is going to be brought into the mix, if he's going to be like another sort of a cafe singer or Club LOL type singer, or if he's gonna be doing something else, be kind of in a new building or something like that. That's one of my biggest questions and things that I'm looking forward to seeing how they do, is just like all the different NPCs. There's so many NPCs, and yet it's a deserted island that we're going to, so how those different non-playable characters are going to be worked into the mix, what sorts of buildings they'll add to town. So it did snow yesterday for Christmas Eve. Today is technically Christmas Day in my town, and on Christmas Eve it was snowing in a really pretty way, so I guess that also means I have lots and lots of gyroids to find around town. Gyroids always pop up after like rainy days or snowy days, precipitation and stuff like that. I wonder why, like I wonder what the logic is there. Maybe just if something's long been buried in the ground, like these gyroids, maybe it's kind of like alluding to the fact that the rain washed away some of the mud and kind of made them easier to find. I don't know, it's the gyroids are definitely kind of an interesting aspect to Animal Crossing, all the like kind of lore behind the gyroids and what they're based off of in Japanese culture and stuff. Plus it's also interesting that there's gyroids that you can dig up like out of the ground and decorate with and stuff, and then there's also characters like Lloyd, who was your assistant in the GameCube version, and in New Leaf, like he was kind of your public work donation assistant. Gyroids are weird in this game, that's for sure. Yeah, I do really like what they add to Animal Crossing, though. I really love anything that's kind of like, I don't know, Animal Crossing lore. Like, I feel like the leaves that the furniture items represent, like that's another like little unique aspect to Animal Crossing, is these little leaves. And what else is there that's kind of part of like the inner workings of Animal Crossing that's unique to it in particular? I guess I just feel like the Tanuki and fox symbolism is also pretty important to Animal Crossing, and it's really important also to the like sorts of culture background from Japan that Animal Crossing draws a lot of inspiration from. But yeah, this is a really pretty sunset today, very like kind of misty, lots of clouds in the sky today. And I hope I'm not missing too many flowers. I'd be really bummed out if just because I'm streaming my watering flowers that means that maybe I'm like not doing as good of a job and missing some. So I really hope I don't miss any of these and lose them the next day. Hi, Raging Fire. I don't really consider this a costume. It's just an outfit that I like to wear. I like to express my personal taste in fashion and aesthetics and stuff. It's actually, I was going for like an Art Nouveau look. This is kind of an Art Nouveau inspired headdress by the Art of Mucha and stuff, so that's kind of what I was going for. So this island here, it's got a lot of flowers to water too. This is a very flowery island. Oh, and another, probably a gyroid to dig up. So this is a mini echoid. I wonder if I've found all the gyroids yet today. It looks like I only have 2 in my pockets, but I'm not sure if maybe I sold one already. I guess I'll just have to walk around town and see what pops up. I'm gonna throw away this net over here too. Oh, I'll just drag it over with my finger. And it's hard to see some of the flowers in this particular area sometimes because there are flowers behind the trees, so I might have to peek behind the trees sometimes to make sure I'm not missing any. But I think as long as I haven't missed too many flowers on the other side of town, that we're about like halfway done. There's just that other side of town to do, and then all the flowers should be watered, and maybe I can move on to the next day. Any tips for planting trees? In Wild World, the trees actually have dead spots. Like there's these lines around town that are dead spot lines that trees won't grow in, so sometimes there's not a lot you can do about that because there are spots where trees won't grow in this game, but otherwise there are some guidelines. Like in general, the game likes it for you to have around 15 trees per acre, which each acre is kind of like where there's like a building, or like it's 4 by 4 I think, so this is an acre here. The waterfall is an acre. The gate's an acre, and the house is an acre, and so on, all the way down the map. So if you divide it into acres and kind of keep in mind that you don't want to put like more than 15 in an acre, they should mostly grow. You're my Animal Crossing Wild World encyclopedia. Yeah, I do know a lot about Wild World. I know some stuff about Wild World that's that a lot of players probably wouldn't know. Have you seen some of my dead spot maps on WordPress, like where I mapped out like all the spots where my trees wouldn't grow in my towns? Because sometimes those are good to refer to if you kind of want to get an idea for what dead spots are like in this game. They're kind of like these little intersecting lines that go around the map. And I feel like the idea behind the dead spot lines in this game are kind of based around like letting your villagers walk around. The red sky is like hell. Yeah, I guess it is quite a vivid red. I kind of like it though. I feel like it looks more fitting at like autumn though. Like right now it's like, you know, the snow is all white and cool in color, and then there's this like vivid red sky right now. Oh, I was trying to listen in on their conversation, but instead I just watered puddles. Hey, a Twisk, Sunshine, is this yours? Because I found it right over there and I know it's not mine. I'll say that I've never seen it. No, I'm sure it's yours. You must have dropped it without noticing. This is exactly the sort of thing I'd picture in your house, Sunshine. Please take it. I won't hear another word on the subject. You made a dead spot map? Yes, I did. I actually planted a tree in like every spot in my town and recorded what grew and what didn't. And if it interests you all enough, I can kind of pull up my blog and show you what I'm talking about. What I mean by dead spot testing and dead spot maps and what the dead spots look like around town. I managed to get all the golden items except for the golden watering can. Aiming for a perfect town was a pain. Oh yeah, I know that feeling. You kind of, in order to get a perfect town, you either gotta have tons of flowers like this one, or you have to be really strategic with your spread of flowers, because it wants you to have like 3 flowers and like 15 trees per acre or something like that, so it can be hard to kind of visualize in your head what all the acres are unless you like lay down the paths to kind of divide up the acres. So I know that's one of the strategies people do in getting a perfect town, is to kind of plan a little grid to divide their town into acres, and then they focus on each acre to kind of make sure each one meets the requirements. I'm not sure I really ever did it that way in this town though. I feel like this town I just went wild with the flowers, as you can see, and just the sheer amount of flowers ensured that this town would always be perfect. My favorite aspect of having a perfect town are these Jacob's ladders here, like the lily of the valley flowers that pop up randomly when you have a perfect town. I really love those flowers. So this is Bob's house here. Looks like he's still inside. And I hear someone singing. It looks like Melba's over there singing. I feel like we're in the home stretch a little bit here. We've watered most of town. We just kind of have to go up here and loop back around, so hopefully it won't take too long. Watering the house on accident. Really makes you wish the beautiful town ordinance was thought of a little bit sooner, doesn't it? Melba's a cutie. Yeah, I agree. She's my personal favorite, actually. Melba's my sentimental favorite from back when she was in my very first Wild World town, and now she's both in this town, which isn't my first one. I kind of deleted my first one. And she's also in my other side town, Suncomb, so I have her in 2 Wild World towns. And at least the flowers are a little bit more sparse in this area. Like this area just kind of has a few roses wrapping around the town hall. I really like roses because they come in the most amount of colors in Animal Crossing traditionally, so all the other flowers are usually missing one of the colors, like cosmos are missing purple and blue, and pansies are missing pink. So roses are one of the few that has like practically all the colors, so I thought that that would be really fitting around the town hall where there's so many events, like the New Year's Eve event coming up. Oh my gosh, everyone wants to talk to me. Who should I talk to? Well, it turns out Lily was a good person to talk to because she has a present for me. It's I can't really explain this, so here it is, a plaster wall. Definitely don't have use for it, but it's always good to get free stuff. It's basically like free money. Oh, you caught another cold? I'm sorry about that, Red. I hope that it heals really quickly. Colds are always such a pain. It's really like every stage of a cold is so miserable, like the sore throat stage and the coughing stage and the runny nose stage. I hope you get through it real quick. So I think I was kind of zoning out for what Butch was saying, but I think he just asked us for furniture, so do I still have that stuff in my pockets? Yeah, it looks like I do. This is the stuff I ordered for Butch. He's collecting chic furniture right now, so the modern furniture in this game is considered chic, so it's perfect to give to him for his hobby. Sure, I was collecting chic furniture, but I didn't think you'd actually bring me this. Thanks, Sunshine. Here, have 510 bells. From now on, I'm counting on you whenever I need something. So usually when you help them out with their furniture hobby, they start wandering over to their house and they'll go inside and put it somewhere, and you can kind of walk in and see where they put it and make sure it's in a good spot. Oh, hi Blue, thank you so much for cheering with those bits. I appreciate it. How are you today? Did you have a good Christmas? My day's going pretty good. I actually had today off. I do have to work tomorrow on New Year's Eve, but I thought maybe once I get off on New Year's Eve from work, I can kind of do a nice, fun New Year's Eve style stream where we count down and Animal Crossing and maybe play other games too, because if we're going to be counting down for a few hours, maybe I would have to dig into other games in my library to sort of pass the time, so I thought that might be kind of fun to do. And my holiday was really nice. I spent some good time with family. I got a Switch for Christmas, so I'm all ready for New Horizons now. I have a Switch, and I'm gonna practice like capturing it and make sure that I can stream from it really well. And in the meantime, I guess just play Pokemon. I do like Pokemon as well as Animal Crossing, so it might be fun to play that new Pokemon game. I got Shield. How about yours? Did you have a good holiday? Yes, I do have a Switch now. I did mention it at the very beginning of stream, but I know sometimes people come in at different times. But yeah, I'm all ready. When March 20th, 2020 comes, I'll be ready to go. I can just plop it in my Switch. Galar Ponyta is so cute. Yeah, that's exactly why I got Pokemon Shield, actually, was because of Ponyta. I didn't really have a strong preference between the box art legendaries, like the Shield legendary and the Sword legendary, so I thought that I would pick based off of what I felt most strongly about, which what I feel most strongly about is that the floaty like fairy Ponyta is just so adorable. But I do think there's some other exclusives too, like I'm not sure all of them off the top of my head, but I'm sure it's not just the Ponyta. Had a great holiday myself, just popped in to say hi today. I'm about to get dinner with your friends. Oh, well, that's nice. I hope you have a good dinner with them. Thanks so much for always coming in, and thanks for the bits, Blue. And Puddles is definitely really matching the sky right now. I'm definitely getting Puddles vibe from this whole like color scheme. So you want to chat with me some more, right? Yeah, I like chatting with me too. You should come talk to me if you want to know all about watering stuff. I just like watering stuff. That doesn't make me weird, does it? Well, since you like watering stuff so much, I wish you could help me out watering these flowers. Look at her walking around with her watering can. She does like watering flowers, but it's just a shame that they can't really help you with that in this game. It'll have to be until New Leaf when they kind of add that feature of villagers being able to help you water flowers. In Shield, you can catch Tyranitar. Sword has Ursaring. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do like Tyranitar, so that's good for me, having Shield. I had a feeling that Tyranitar was one of the exclusives, because I did particularly remember that seeing Tyranitar there in one of the, like, graphics that were going over the differences between the two games, so I just didn't want to say something I was unsure about. One girl told me in the Immuno app that there was a server created by Animal Crossing fans who it was made exclusively to play Wild World online. I need to investigate about that. I've actually heard about that too. Somehow, like, a lot of this, like, sort of sketchy, like, Wild World news and stuff finds its way to me, because I do feel like as far as Wild World towns go, like, my Dafdilly town is fairly, like, well known online and stuff, like, on Tumblr, like, my Dafdilly town has a fair amount of fans, and a lot of people like seeing the scenery photos, so someone actually came into my ask box on Tumblr once and kind of told me about that, and basically there's a way that they kind of set up their own Wi-Fi server for Wild World, and there's information how to do it, like on a forum of the Beltree forum, so yeah, that's definitely interesting, but you do still need to have that what do you call it, WEP connection, which WEP is like this really ancient connection that's not very secure. So I remember back when I've Wi-Fi'd in Wild World, I had to specifically kind of sacrifice security a little bit for the sake of continuing to be able to Wi-Fi in Wild World. It's not really as secure as the modern day Wi-Fi connections. So as long as you're able to still connect to WEP and willing to kind of give up that security, you can, apparently there's like fishy ways out there that you can still Wi-Fi with other players. I think it requires some like tinkering though. But yeah, I did like the idea of it, but other than the fact that I would have to get the WEP connection again, and also I feel like I didn't even really Wi-Fi all that much in Wild World once New Leaf came out anyways, so I just feel like the amount of people out there who would Wi-Fi with you is like really, really slim, and it would probably be quite hard to find people who both still played Wild World and also tinkered with that fishy stuff that's needed in order to get Wi-Fi to work again in Wild World. So this is the last little section over here, the flower field above Nook's, so we're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm sorry if I've kind of at times watered multiple flowers more than once. It's just this kind of weird like paranoia thing I have where since the flowers don't sparkle for you, sometimes it can be hard to remember like which flower you've watered, which one you haven't. If you kind of hit it in the middle of the flower where you kind of hope that it's definitely been watered, if you hit it right in the middle, that sort of thing. But unfortunately, for being the last area that I need to water, it is very hefty. There's so many flowers and like very random spots over here. Because this was kind of intended to be like a wildflower forest with lots of random flowers scattered everywhere, not in kind of a particular pattern, not in any sort of orderly arrangement, but just very random and scattered. Yeah, something I find kind of interesting as far as the difference in scenery between New Leaf and Wild World is that in Wild World at 6 p.m. the sky becomes this like really violently hot pink like it is right now, but in New Leaf this is actually the time of day where it's that really pleasant like mid-pink to like blue to purple. If you know what I'm talking about, that really classic time in New Leaf where it's a really pretty gradient from pink to blue. But in this game they go for more of just a really like super bright reddish pink. And then it goes from like this reddish pink to like a purple later on. And I guess overall the colors are a little bit more like uniform. Like instead of this being multiple colors here at sunset, it's just pretty much a pure pink. Alright, I think we're just about done with the watering flowers. It's just these last few scragglers here. And then I think I already did like this beach over here, so we've pretty much made like a loop around town watering all the flowers, so it's nice to have that over with. And I guess while I'm over here I can definitely sell these fossils to Nook. And those gold roses in front of Nookington's, that's one of the few flowers that won't wilt on you and die that way. You can still kind of run over gold roses and destroy them through running, but... And I also still have lots of this modern furniture in my pockets from when I knew Butch was collecting that furniture, so I ordered a lot of it. So I need to probably go find Butch again and see if I can give him some more furniture to kind of clear out some of the stuff that I ordered. But yeah, that comfy sweater I have in my pockets because I thought maybe I could drop the comfy sweater for one of my side characters and have them wear something different for winter. So maybe while I'm thinking about it, I can kind of drop this comfy sweater outside Able Sisters and try to remember to load up one of my side characters and have them put on the sweater. Speaking of which, I didn't go and see like if they have some more sweaters or hats on sale today. Looks like not like winter hats or winter sweaters, unless you count this like weird brownish shirt. And I wonder if Butch is in his house now, and maybe he's already displayed the furniture that we gave him a little while ago. Well, this is his house, so I guess he's still out and about right now. What should I do next, buddy? I sure could use a new hobby. So she's moving away from what her hobby used to be and kind of thinking about starting something new. Today is Wednesday and it's the perfect weather to walk around. She keeps saying that. I thought her hobby was walking around because she keeps bringing it up. Gosh, just getting back to my place is going to be such a pain in the tush. I think I gotta stay over at Rold's house for dinner tonight. What's funny about her saying that, I know it's just random dialogue, but her house is actually a little closer than Rold's. Rold's is all the way over here, so she would have to travel even farther to get to Rold's, but for once I don't fault her for saying she's far away from her house, because she kinda is. I mean, it's over here. Oftentimes they'll say that and they're like standing right next to their house or something like that. Just walking around trying to find Butch and maybe thinking about other things that I could do today. I definitely have some gardening I could do in certain areas of Dafdilly, like working on various winter versions of gardens that already exist around town. Oh, here's Butch. He's walking over to visit Nibbles. It doesn't matter who gives me a piece of furniture. It looks a zillion cajillion times better when it's all set up in my pad. So that's him kind of acknowledging that we gave him some furniture earlier. Oh, what do you think about chic furniture? Sophisticated or no? Chowing down on sushi in a room full of that stuff? Now that's living. And then he sneezed. So he's already asking for more modern furniture from us, which is music to my ears since I need to get rid of this stuff anyways. A modern sofa. Honestly, what do you think I'm gonna do with all these duplicates? Did we already give that to him? That's interesting. I feel really like self-conscious now. I gave him like a duplicate and he called me out on it. That's so weird. So note to self, don't give him that one. Let's try the modern end table. Maybe he doesn't have that. Whoa, you brought me a modern end table? I always wanted one of these. You're a real champ, kid. Well, that may be true, but I better say thanks. So, thanks, Sunshine. Here, have 710 bells. Wow, that's quite an upgrade from the 510 bells. You're actually not that bad. Oh, thanks. So I guess I'm talking to him again, but it's probably going to be too soon for him to already have a new request for us. Second time he's sung one of his foreign town tunes to us today. I guess Butch originally came from a different town. So here's Nibbles. She's got a Christmas tree up for today, which will be appropriate for one more day in my town, but then eventually I guess I'm gonna have to work on getting rid of the Christmas trees in my villager homes. Cut it out, Sunshine. Enough of those kid in a candy store eyes. There's nothing here for you to take. This might seem kind of random, but you want to have a contest to see who finds the first pond melt? I mean, I guess I'll say yes, but I'm a little burnt out from all these fishing hobbies my neighbors have. So many of them have had fishing hobbies lately, it's kind of a little tiring. You see the amount of like fishing tanks in her house. Evidence of all the work I've put into these fishing hobbies. We'll look at Butch running down this path, actually using the path that I set up. Let's see if he continues to use this path. Is he gonna turn? Oh, he's kind of going off path now. I mean, if you think about it, I don't think they really have any way to like know where the paths are, so it's always kind of cool when it actually looks like they're using them. If I remember correctly, Butch is one of the types that are bold and hard to open up personality. Yeah, he's one of the cranky villagers, so they're known for being, you know, cranky as the name suggests, but also that they do open up to you eventually and kind of their heart softens the more they get to know you. And I think Butch is probably booking it to his house, actually. That's kind of what they do when you give them furniture. They start booking it to their house, and then they'll go inside and put their new furniture in it. In fact, maybe if we like kind of go near his house, we can watch him go inside. And I also thought that since we did talk about the dead spot maps and stuff, and I got to a good stopping spot where I'm not like watering flowers anymore, maybe I could boot up my blog and kind of show you all here on stream what I'm talking about the dead spot testing map. It is really interesting. So in order to do that, I'll just have to switch my scene over to something else real quick. So, I think this should be good. Like, this is my blog, and in order to see the dead spot maps I've made, you can go over down here to my Wild World posts, and there's one called, like, Dead Spot Testing Success, where I talk about, like, oh, this is dead spot testing failure, so, like, I failed at it the first time I did it, but then, like, later on I succeeded. So I think it should be around here pretty soon. Let me just search for success. Yeah, it's down here. So this is the map that I made before testing for dead spots, and then this is the map after dead spot testing. So I planted a tree in every single spot around town and recorded what grew and what didn't. And these little like red lines, these are the spots where they don't grow. So it's interesting because they all connect acre to acre. It's almost like the villagers like to have a way to kind of move around town. Like, remember how remember just a few minutes ago, Butch was going down like this sort of like path right here, and then he was going to the town hall. It's like he might actually take this path down to his house. It could be the way that they walk around, you know? But yeah, I made one for Suncomb too, which I'll just show the one for Suncomb and then I'll switch back to the gameplay. Just thought it might be interesting to show you all what I'm talking about. But this is my one for Suncomb, so you can see they're kind of similar, the same sort of idea. They're both like dead spot maps where you can see that the dead spots are little lines around town connecting all the acres. But yeah, I'll switch back to Dafdilly and we can keep playing. Looks like Butch hasn't made it back to his house yet. That was really hard work to do, congrats. Well, thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of work. It took about like a month in game, or at least a few weeks, but it's definitely very tedious, but for me it was worth it since landscaping is such a big part of the way I like to enjoy the game. Sunshine, have you seen a cotton swab around here? Bob told me to look for it here. If Bob is messing with me, I'm going to flip. I bet Bob is messing with her. Why would she be looking for a cotton swab anyway? And this looks like an extra flower. I'm gonna kind of like try to prune things as I go because I feel like Dafdilly is starting to get kind of messy. Like, as time goes on, as like more flowers like kind of pop up in places where they weren't before, it kind of just starts to look messy. So I'm gonna try my best to prune things as I go and make Dafdilly look a little nicer. And it sounds like someone's unhappy. Who's like around here like pouting and... Oh, it's Butch. So Butch has made it almost to his house. Let's see if he goes in his house in a little bit. And I'll try to see if there's any other flowers that are like getting a little too dense that maybe I can clear out a little bit and make look a little neater. Well, it looks like he isn't heading straight for his house, so I guess I should stop waiting on him to do that. He's kind of wandering over near the shops now. And I guess the next thing I could work on is kind of some of the gardens that I was hoping to make for winter time, like modifying some of my gardens to be less colorful and more just like kind of red and white, like festive colors. I'm gonna like drop a few of my items over near my house and see if I can find any extra flowers laying around that I can use to decorate. Like it looks like there's a few flowers right here that I could use. So this is the stuff for Butch. I guess I'm going to drop it for now, but I do want to get this stuff to Butch, except for, I guess, the modern sofa. He really fussed at me for giving him the modern sofa. He said, stop giving me duplicates. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you already had it. Is there a way to make villagers move out faster? Just curious. Not that I know of. I think it's pretty random, unfortunately. There is a way to do the opposite in this game, though, if you're... I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but there's a way to lock villagers in your town so that they won't ever leave. And the way the trick works is through the delivery errands, like when a villager will ask you to deliver like a letter or a present to another villager. Basically what you can do is do the task for them, deliver the letter or the present to the other villager, but then never get back to the villager who asked you for the favor. So the villager asks you for the favor, you perform the favor, but then you never tell them that you did it. And then that kind of like locks them both in town, because I guess it's like seen as unfinished business by the game. Like the game thinks like that neither one can move out because they're like locked by this errand that you never technically completed, even though you did complete it. Like the game doesn't know that you completed it because you never talked to that original villager who asked you to do the favor. So that's kind of an interesting way that you can lock villagers in town. And also, that is a way to speed up other villagers moving out, because think about it, if you have like half of your town locked with the villagers that you want to keep in town, the other half of town will like move out quicker, because those are the only options for villagers to move out, are the ones that aren't locked. So that's kind of another way that you can kind of speed up the process if you're interested. So this area I definitely want to have like lots more like red flowers. So unfortunately, as much as it kind of pains me a little bit to like pick up all these colorful ones, I do kind of want to do that and move them somewhere else, or just move them into my dressers for now and kind of get this area looking more wintry, more red and white, less like random colors everywhere. Oh, thank you, Pokemoon. Yeah, if anyone ever has any questions about like Wild World or even New Leaf, I know a fair amount about New Leaf in particular too, feel free to ask me about those. If there's a game that I don't know as much about, it's probably the City Folk version. I didn't really play City Folk a lot. Did any of you like play City Folk a lot? Like, is it just me that didn't really play that one a whole bunch? So I guess there aren't a whole lot of empty spots in my town to dump like unwanted flowers. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of wide open spaces in this town, but I figured there's a little bit of space here behind the museum for me to drop these colorful flowers that I'm displacing from that other garden. And I'm already running out of room over here, though. There isn't really all that much more spots to dump flowers. Only abused Wild World back then. Yeah, I can see that. I think Wild World was a fun childhood favorite for a lot of people. Like, about the age that I'm at right now, here in my 20s, I think a lot of people have nostalgia for, like, the Pokemon games that were out when they were kids, and the Animal Crossing games that were out when they were kids, like Wild World and GameCube and stuff like that. Oh, Melba wants to talk to me. Oh, hey, Sunshine. Hang on a second. I was just trying to think up a good nickname for you, Sunshine, and I just thought of the best one ever. Want to hear it? I guess we can hear it for laughs, but it's probably not good. Okay, my friend, prepare yourself for the most awesomest nickname ever. Bunny. Oh, that is cute, actually. Should we keep it? Do you all think that I should keep Bunny, or should I keep Sunshine? I was busy with Pokemon, Mario Kart, Smash Bros. Brawl. Oh, well, those are nostalgic titles for me too. I definitely grew up playing Mario Kart and Smash Brothers as well. Smash Brothers was a really fun pastime for me and my family. So you think I should keep the bunny one? It kind of makes me sound like Usagi from Sailor Moon. Usagi kind of means bunny in Japanese, so everyone that's calling Sailor Moon Usagi, they're kind of really calling her Bunny, which is partly because of the two buns she has in her head, kind of resembling like bunny ears or whatever. Which I'm kind of having too right now with my little roses on the side of my head. I kind of have a sort of Usagi style hairstyle right now. From this day forward, you will be Bunny to me, Bunny. So I hope I like that okay. Oh, and look at them talking to each other in their blue sweaters. Someday I'm gonna be the hottest pop star on the planet, Splish. You, a pop star? You better have a really amazing voice. Why do you say that? Are you saying I'm not cute enough to be a pop star? Melba, how could you? Oh, I didn't mean it that way at all. I was just... Don't even talk to me. I want to hear what Sunshine thinks. Hey, Sunshine, do you think I'm cute? I mean, of course. Yeah, totally adorable, Puddles. This is just a Puddles love fest right now. It's kind of awkward. Sometimes I'm so cute it's scary. Yeah. Well, at least it made everyone happy. Look, everyone's like walking around singing now. Do you support time traveling? I definitely kind of do because I time travel myself, so it would be a hypocrite if I didn't support it. I definitely make use of it sometimes. Like right now I'm not playing in real time. It's actually behind real time right now, so I do make use of it sometimes because I have multiple towns, so it would be a lot to expect me to boot up every single town every single day and like be in real time in all of them, never get behind, never want to go ahead and kind of work on a different day. Like it would be a lot if I didn't time travel, so I do think it's a good tool to be able to kind of control time a little at your own pace if you have a busy life, or maybe if your Animal Crossing has been out for a while and now you just kind of want to focus on like designing your town. I think that's really valid. Like I do think there is something to be said for avoiding time travel when it's a new Animal Crossing game, like when you haven't ever played like New Horizons before, or when you haven't ever played New Leaf before and you want to get that really fresh experience for the game and play it at its purest form. I think it makes a lot of sense to avoid time travel at those times, but a lot of these games that I'm playing right now have been out for years and years, so I think it makes sense that you know what the game has to offer and you know what sorts of charming gameplay you're missing out on by not playing in real time. You know, you kind of already know it all, and you can always go back to playing that way if you want, but it's also okay to play it other ways sometimes too. I don't know if that makes sense. I just feel like once the game's been out for a while, I feel like it's very much like fair game. So, it's kind of tough on me right now to remember where my tools go because I don't have all my usual letters to dump tools in. But I usually have the slingshot in the first one, and I usually have the shovel in the next one, and then these two are like my insect and fish, you know, my insect and fish tools, so I guess that's what I have to do for now. And I guess next I really want to like focus on finding some more red flowers out and about that I can transport over to that wintry garden. And I guess this garden is already looking nice and wintry. I'm not sure if I need to do all that much more to this area. Like, I kind of like the idea of not filling up every single one of these squares with like a new flower, you know? Like, I feel like this garden looks good with a few like empty spaces, so I might not fill it up all the way and fill every single square. I might just kind of leave it somewhat like this, but just touch it up a little bit. And over here it is looking like a little bit more empty and a little bit more red flower heavy, but there are still a few flowers that I need to pick up that are like blue and yellow and orange and stuff like that. But to think that it's already almost January, and by the end of February that's when the green grass comes back, so that'll be a really exciting time on stream when I can have all my towns go back to the beautiful spring green grass. February 25th is always like a really exciting day in Animal Crossing, I think. And then when March gets here, it'll be like really getting super close to the release of the new game, and it's really nice to think about how in the new game and New Horizons we'll have so many green months ahead of us. Like, we'll have March and April, the Cherry Blossom Festival, we'll have summertime, and then our towns will be looking nice and more like landscaped by the time autumn and winter come. How's it going? I read in a book that if two kids become friends, they sometimes make up their own secret greeting. Oh, I don't really do greetings, Lily. Any tip to avoid turnips rotting? Yeah, there's actually a trick in this game. It's kind of a glitch where if you put turnips on tables, they won't rot. So it's a good trick for like making lots of money, actually. You can kind of dump turnips on your tables and just leave them there until you get a good turnip selling price, and then you can sell them for good amounts of bells every time you buy turnips from Joan. You just have to make use of that glitch where you put them on tables. Which, you know, I know some people are kind of against that glitch because it is a little bit cheating. It's taking advantage of like an exploit within the game, but I think however you want to play the game is fine with it if you want to take advantage of exploits like that. Reminds me a bit of like the, what was that thing called in New Leaf where you could kind of duplicate items? I guess we just called it duping. It was revolved around like switching your Wi-Fi switch at a certain time when saving during multiplayer, and then if you flick the switch at exactly the right time, like both of you would have the item in your pockets. Like, even though that's kind of cheating, it did allow for a lot more players to get access to some of the hard exclusives. Like, there are some really hard exclusives in New Leaf, like Japanese only items like the throwing beans or whatever, so it's really nice to have access to more items like that thanks to things like duping and hacking, I think. I really love that all my villagers are getting the memo about this blue sweater, that this is the right time of year to wear this blue sweater. Didn't she ask us this earlier? Oh, there are different answers this time. Last time it was like Orville, Goldie, Mittens, and now it's like Mr. Fish, Jaws, Sushi, Ruby. I'm gonna say Mr. Fish. I want to see what she says to that. Oh, she likes it. So this is the exact dialogue we got earlier, but we got to pick a different fish name for her this time. What about red turnips because if you plant them but do time traveling? Yeah, basically you just don't want to have red turnips in your town if you're time traveling, because yeah, that is a bit of a flaw when it comes to time traveling. Your red turnips will die after just a single day of not watering, so it's really crucial to, if you want to keep your red turnips to not be like time traveling too much, we're skipping days or anything like that, unfortunately. I wonder what I think about this area. Do you think I should just leave this area nice and colorful, or do you think that I should pick up some of the flowers that are over here? I'm not exactly sure. I'm just thinking, like, looking at this garden, I'm trying to figure out if I think it's too cluttered or not. Maybe I can at least pick up a few of the flowers to kind of make it look less cluttered, but not completely redo that garden, because that would be a lot of work to have to redo that whole area. But yeah, over here I can start to plant like white flowers and red flowers and try to make it look more like Christmassy and less, I guess, colorful. Make it more red and white and festive and less colorful. I'd say leave the area as is. I think it looks fine. Oh, thanks for the feedback. I'm glad you think it looks okay. Especially like once the flowers aren't wilted anymore, it might start to look more how I like it, nice and colorful. And I thought it might be cute, actually, to have a few gold flowers, because I feel like I associate gold with festive Christmas colors sometimes, like red and green and gold. So if we're going for kind of a festive garden over here, might make sense to have a few gold ones scattered about. For example, if I buy a red turnip, then I water it, and then the same real-life day I change to the game state, my turnips won't rot. Let me think closer about what you're saying. So if you buy a red turnip and plant it and water it, then you're good for the next day. But if you time travel like multiple days ahead, that turnip will actually die. Like the turnips require you to water them every single day. So if you plant a red turnip, and then water it, and then time travel 5 days ahead, that turnip's gonna be dead because you need to water them every day. So I do advise, if you're like kind of a time traveling player, to not be planting red turnips until you've settled down to playing in real time again, unfortunately. I'm having those good old inventory struggles. I always run into this with gardening in particular, because what happens is you pick up flowers to displace the flowers, and then that gets in the way of you planting new flowers, because you have all these like flowers in your pockets that you already displaced. So it's kind of a tough inventory battle. Maybe they'll make it easier in New Horizons with those like stackable items. Imagine like stacking like flowers, like having a tin of white roses and one stack in your inventory. I bet they'll do stuff like that. There's one thing I didn't get. So you know how you're able to request songs to KK? How are you supposed to know the names without looking them up? The best way to get songs from KK Slider without looking them up is to just have him play something random, because that's something I've always had trouble with too, is that you have to like spell it right. Like with KK Slider songs, oftentimes you have to do like capital K dot, and then space. So as long as you remember that format and remember some of the genres like KK rock and KK ska, things like that, like those are easy to request, but some of them are a little harder, like Cafe KK. For some reason it's not KK Cafe, it's Cafe KK. So, and plus you gotta remember which way the E apostrophe goes. So some of those can be kind of hard, because you have to basically look up the way they're spelled and the way the grammar is. But some of them you can kind of remember because they follow that format of like KK rock, KK ska. Oh, that's fine, Pokemoon. No problem at all. I actually didn't have any trouble understanding you. If anything, it was more just understanding the situation with the red turnips. But, I mean, you yourself, you were perfectly clear. No worries at all. And feel free to ask me anything else. But yeah, I guess the red turnips are kind of a pain. I think they're kind of meant to be, honestly. Like, that's kind of the thing with red turnips, is that they become more valuable the longer that they're in the ground. So the game rewards you for, like, keeping track of the red turnips that long. The game knows it's kind of hard to do that, so that's kind of, like, even though they make such cute landscaping items, like, honestly, they're more intended to be, like, financial, like, the way they get more and more, like, valuable the longer they're in the ground. You always typed something like happy birthday when you were younger. Yeah, I think there is like a song called like KK Birthday now, so that is funny, but I don't think it was added until New Leaf. I could be making that up, but I feel like it was New Leaf when the KK Birthday was added. So that's kind of funny that you would type in like actual songs, like here KK Slider, play me like Led Zeppelin or something. You can actually find examples of stuff like that on YouTube, which I find really funny. You can find where people tried to like have KK Slider sing actual songs. Like, they have access to all the KK Slider little like noises, like the KK Slider Animalise or whatever, and they basically like create new versions of classic songs. Like, I know there's one for Smash Mouth's All Star, and I think there's one for Stairway to Heaven. If you don't know how to decorate some zones of your town, you can always try to make a heart with red roses. Oh, that is a sweet idea. I did that in Suncombe once for Valentine's Day. There was one year that I felt like doing something festive for Valentine's Day, so in Suncombe I actually created a heart out of red flowers. I'm actually going to load up with my side character, because my side character has some spots in her dressers that are filled up with flowers, so I feel like she might be a more convenient character to play with right now, because I can always go to her dressers to get more red flowers. I'd love to see KK's Stairway to Heaven. Yeah, it's actually, if you search for it on YouTube, you can find it. I listened to it earlier today. I was actually looking for alerts, because as a streamer you can have alerts on your stream for things like subscriptions or follows or trying to think what else, like donations, things like that. And I was trying to like find some good alert ideas and was kind of looking up some KK Slider songs. But yeah, one of my favorites, which I'm probably going to use for an alert, is if you all are familiar with the song Africa by Toto. I really like that song, and there's a KK Slider version of it, and it was really good. I might have to use that for an alert on stream. I was also listening to Journey's Don't Stop Believin' by KK Slider, and it was really funny because that's such like a cliche, like, I don't know, inspiring song, or like a good, what do you call, like karaoke song. Like, it's such a classic, and it was really funny to hear KK Slider singing it. Do you take care of your other side characters' friendship with your villagers? No, I actually don't. I actually tend to not really talk to villagers with my side characters. And it looks like this isn't the right side character. I'm so sorry about that. I actually have to load a different one. But yeah, part of the reason why I don't try to become friends with my side characters is because I feel like they'll come up in conversation too much, and I actually find it annoying when like I'm playing as Twisk and they won't shut up about harmony or won't shut up about cadence or whatever. Like, I prefer to like kind of keep them being nobodies in town where they aren't really as talked about a lot. So this is Cadence, and I think she's the one that has the flowers in my dressers, so I'm sorry I loaded the wrong character at first. Yeah, there was one song that I thought would be a lot of fun to hear like a KK Slider version of. It's the Sweet Dreams song by Annie Lennox. I thought that would be really funny to hear KK Slider sing that. But there are some songs out there, of course, that there aren't KK Slider versions of, but you'd be surprised on YouTube how many, like, KK Slider song variations you can find. There's definitely been a lot of people that have made a lot of good ones. So over here you can see that we've found the character that has like lots of flowers in her dresser, so this is a good character to play as right now as I'm working on gardens. I really like this KK Slider song, Steep Hill. I think it's a really good classic. I love the kind of mood it gives off. Yeah, I guess one problem I have is that I don't have a lot of spots in my pockets, and yet I can't really put stuff in this dresser either, because this dresser is really full. So I'm kind of stuck. As usual, that's me. I'm always having inventory problems. I was thinking of getting a few of these dandelion puffs and putting them in a few spots in town. Like, I just think they have kind of a wintry look to them. That music box brings back so many memories. I'd sometimes go to bed and pretend to rest in the evenings. Oh yeah, I really do like the music box in this game. And I really like Steep Hill. In my new Leaf Town I made a music box out of Steep Hill and thought it was like a really like melancholy tune. So this is what I was going to do with the dandelion puffs if you were curious. You see all the Jacob's ladders in this area? I thought to make this area look more like wild and less like put together, maybe I could replace some of the Jacob's ladders with like these flowers. Because if you look at the Jacob's ladders and the dandelion puffs, they have basically the same color scheme. They're both green and white, so I feel like they like mesh really good together. And I was gonna kind of replace some of the Jacob's ladders with those dandelion puffs to kind of like keep the same color scheme going on, but just making the area look more wild, like more of like a festive wild forest. But yeah, there's lots of these over here because I think these used to be the yellow dandelions and then they changed into the dandelion puffs. That's kind of the life cycle that dandelions go through. They kind of go from being yellow dandelions to the white dandelion puffs, and then they disappear actually. Like, they don't last in your town forever. They'll actually disappear. Which I find a bit of a hassle. I know I'm not the only one that likes to landscape with dandelions. It's kind of a shame that they have like a bit of a life cycle in this game where you can't really keep them in your town forever. Is it gonna let me swap it with a dandelion puff? Please let me do that. Oh no, it's not gonna let me do that. So I'm gonna plant this over here, I guess, and swap out the dandelion puff with this Jacob's ladder. I feel like I've heard our town tune like multiple times today. Has it really been that long? I guess maybe I started streaming around 5 and it's been a few hours. I feel like I keep hearing my town tune over and over. Inventory struggles, yeah. I really look forward to seeing if New Horizons, it's just so much easier in that game. So, just looking at this garden, I feel like, I mean, it doesn't look flawless. It might look cute enough though, you know, like it might not have to be perfect, but I kind of want it to give off this nice, like, random, like, red and white and green vibe to it. I feel like maybe like a red flower could go like right here. This is kind of missing a red flower in this spot. Oh, and look at Rold. Rold is always wearing this purple dress. Rold loves this purple dress so much. Cadence, long time no see. Oh, I forgot I was playing as Cadence. I was just talking about this earlier with you all, that I don't like to talk to my villagers with my side characters. But here I am talking to Rold with Cadence. Bummer. See, this is why I don't like to talk to them with my side characters. You see this, I delivered it? That was from the locking trick. Rold is locked in this town with Cadence, I guess, and so if I hit I delivered it, I would end the errand and then Rold would be able to move out, so I have to make sure to hit that I'm bored. When it comes to houses, are you the bigger is better type, buddy? I would say so. You're pro style, buddy. Cadence, if you called the shots, Dafdilly would be big in no time. The town that I'm currently playing in Wild World is an R4. The problem is that I don't know why I can't connect with another DS. Oh, so you're worried about like getting the hairdresser and Nookingtons in that town because you're not sure if you can Wi-Fi in another town? Yeah, probably your best bet. I really wish that I could help you. Like, it hurts to hear you talk about that you want the hairdresser, and I wish I could just Wi-Fi with you to help you out. But yeah, do you know anyone that still has Wild World? Like, any friends that might still have the game? Or I guess the only other best thing would be to get another copy of Wild World, and then you can sort of Wi-Fi with yourself as long as you have 2 DSs. That's what I do personally. I have more than one copy of Wild World and I have more than one 3DS and DS, so I just visit myself, but I know not everyone has the means to do that. Maybe they just have one 3DS or one Wild World town. So, yeah, I wish that I could help you more, but if you have any friends that might still have the game, or if you don't mind buying yourself another copy of Wild World, that's probably the best way to do it. Trying to decide if I like this or not. I just feel like it's a little bit... Maybe I need to pick up that red pansy and put something here. Thought that was a real pawn for a second, but it's just a template. Oh, that's really flattering that you thought it was real for a second. I guess that speaks to how well that they blend in with the ground. Like, this is the palette that blends in with the winter ground, and it really does do a good job of kind of fooling you in to think that it's real. I don't think I did a good job on the pond, though. I think that's a very fake-looking pond because it doesn't look very well designed. I kind of did that in a really big rush just to test the idea out. Sometimes that's what I like to do in pattern making. I like to simply test the idea first just to see if it's doable, you know, like, can I do a pond like this? And then I test it out and I'm like, yeah, I think this is doable. And then I work more on it to make it look better, but yeah, the first try often doesn't look very professional. Huh. I feel like a white Cosmo would look good here. I need a white Cosmo here. Sometimes figuring out the right flower arrangement can be almost like a little puzzle to figure out, like, what looks good. Your sis has another Animal Crossing Wild World game. What happens is when I try to connect them, 3 red lines appear and the game crashes. Please decide for me, should I buy the original Animal Crossing Wild World game? Well, I might not be a great person to ask. I mean, I'm honestly, like, the answer for me would be yes, I would do that. I'm a little too free with, like, buying multiple Animal Crossing games, because it's, like, one of my favorite hobbies ever, obviously. Like, I really don't mind investing some time and money into a hobby that I really love, so for me, I probably would buy another Animal Crossing Wild World game if you, like, asked me to choose for you, because that's how I am. I would probably buy another one if I was you, but I don't want to say that, and then, like, what if Wild World's become more expensive over the years, and it's, like, $50 just to get another Wild World town, and so maybe it's not worth it if it's, like, too expensive, so just keep that in mind, too. But yeah, I mean, the way that I am, I would probably buy another one so that I could kind of help myself out, get villagers that I want from the other town, visit myself, unlock the shop and stuff like that. Going to sleep. Well, thanks so much for hanging out today, Thunder. It was really good to see you again, and thanks so much for hanging out with me on stream. I hope you have a good night. Oh, well, I hope you're happy on whatever decision you make, if you decide to buy it or just keep your 3 pink... Do you have the hairstyle with like the 3 pink ponytails sticking out of your head? I feel like that's a really common one to have. But as long as you wear hats, sometimes that hairstyle can actually look really cute. But yeah, I hope you're happy with whatever decision you make. Oh, thank you, Thunder. And I hope you have a happy New Year's Eve and a new year coming up. It's currently just for 12 euros. No, we don't have that currency here, so I can't really relate a lot to like how much that is in US dollars, but yeah, I've seen it on Amazon for not like a fortune. Actually, the game that I've seen be quite a lot of money on Amazon that I've been interested in is Pokemon Platinum. I don't know if you all are familiar with the Sinnoh region games, like Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, but those are my favorite Pokemon games, is that particular region, and I thought it might be kind of fun to like play in the Sinnoh region before like the new Sinnoh remakes come out, which they haven't even announced the Sinnoh remakes, so I'm like getting ahead of myself here, but I thought since the Sinnoh region means so much to me as like a Pokemon region, it might be fun to stream Pokemon Platinum before the remakes come out, and I don't want to overwrite the Pokemon Platinum game I already have. Like, I'm so freaking attached to my Pokemon Platinum game. Like, I have all the, like, villa furniture unlocked. You remember that villa you get where you can, like, buy fancy furniture for it and stuff? I have all of it. And I have so many Pokemon in my boxes, and I don't know, I just really don't want to, like, overwrite that game, so I'd rather just buy a new copy of Platinum, but that's, like, really expensive on Amazon. I guess it's gotten, like, more rare over the years. Oh, so that's not like a currency. I'm sorry. It's a second-hand made company who resells really good DS games. Oh, okay. Thanks for explaining that to me. I'm sorry I didn't get that. I thought you were talking about like a currency. Oh my. You love the Sinnoh games too? Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, they're my favorite region. I really love the Pokemon that's in Sinnoh, and also the towns like Flow-Aroma Town and the Valley Windworks. I think it's just such a whimsical Pokemon region that has a lot of love put into it. I really love the story. Like, there's a very spacey story to that generation, like with all the stuff with Distortion World and Cynthia's, of course. Like, gotta love Cynthia. She's one of the more like iconic champions in my opinion. So you can see, like, I'm pretty happy with, like, when you stand in this spot and look at the flowers, I'm pretty happy with that. I think it looks pretty good. You can kind of see, like, what I was going for when I was talking about earlier, how I wanted to make it more just red and white, and I think it does look a lot more, like, clean here in wintertime. All that, like, colorful flowers and stuff, it just didn't really look as good. Oh, look at Melba in the purple dress that Rold always wears, but Melba looks so cute in it. I like how it even kind of matches her skin tone a bit. It's a little lighter than her skin tone, but it's kind of close. It's closer than Rold's. We definitely don't need a secret greeting between Cadence and Melba. I'm not going to be playing as Cadence a lot. Pokemon Platinum is for 28 euros, around $25. In my opinion, it's not really expensive. Oh, okay. What I was referring to was that I was thinking about buying it for about like $70 off Amazon, so I guess to me that's a little expensive for a DS game, but I even heard another streamer talking about how they only saw postings for it being like $100 like about a year ago or something, so I don't know, maybe it kind of fluctuates in price, and maybe you have a really good company there, this CEX company, the second-hand company you keep talking about. Maybe that's like really good and they sell it for good prices. Maybe it's better to go there than Amazon. So I'm gonna pick up a few more of these like yellow flowers. See if I can make this area look a little bit more neat and clean. Okay, so Cadence, have you noticed that I say splish an awful lot? Yeah, that's actually Puddle's catchphrase. I wonder what a good catchphrase for Lily would be. What's Lily's usual catchphrase? Let's have her say lily pad as like a cute little reference to her name. She's a frog who looks like she would just be perfect perched on top of a lily pad, so... I love the story. For some reason I thought Sinnoh was the darkest of the games. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the distortion world doesn't get a lot darker than that, like an alternate dimension where it's like everything's like upside down and warped, and there's like a monster down there. It almost like kind of reminds me of like Stranger Things or whatever, as far as like, you know, the upside down dimension. It's kind of like that's what the distortion world is in Pokemon Platinum. But yeah, there's also, I wouldn't mind replaying it because if I'm being totally honest, I might be forgetting some of the stuff about like the evil team in that generation. Like, what were they after? Were they trying to like make the distortion world take over the real world or something like that? Like, I feel like that's kind of what they were trying to do, but I'm not sure if I remember exactly. But yeah, I remember it was a very ambitious game as far as like so many like spacey themes. Like Dialga was time and Palkia was space, and me, I'm a total like nerd for that stuff. I love like space-time theory by Einstein, and I really love like astronomy and physics and stuff like that. So having like a Pokemon game where there's like a space Pokemon and a time Pokemon and an alternate dimension, I mean, it's just like made for me and my interests. I love it so much. It's your fourth favorite generation Pokemon, like Lopunny and Glaceon. Yeah, that's another thing I like about Sinnoh, is all the kind of new evolutions to old favorites. Like, it gave us not one but two new evolutions. There's plenty of generations that go by here where we don't get a new evolution, but Sinnoh had both Glaceon and Leafeon, and also like gave us like Togekiss and so many like fun upgrades to old Pokemon. And that there's a literal Satan Pokemon, and also you fight God himself. Yeah, I think it's a bummer that they didn't actually like go through with that. Didn't they not really make that event super public or anything like that? You'd have to like hack that flute into your game in order to get that particular Arceus Pokemon. But yeah, that's part of why I like Sinnoh too, is what you're talking about, all the really big themes that are honestly probably too big for Pokemon, but hey, it appeals to me. Cyrus wanted to rewrite reality into where he was ruling the world. Oh, well, that sounds definitely very typical. Gosh, I love this music. Every time I come in here, I just kind of jam out to Steep Hill. Any tip to get foreign fruit in the game? Yes, if you write your villagers letters, as particularly short letters, try to just say something like hello and like attach a present to the letter. They'll usually send you back fruit in return. So if you send longer letters, they'll give like things like furniture or carpets or wallpaper. But if you keep the letters nice and short, like just one line, just like a few phrases or something like that, and then attach a present, that's usually when they'll send you back just fruit in return. And that's a great way to get foreign fruit without having to Wi-Fi. Oh, you're welcome. Let's see if I can spruce up this area a little bit more. Maybe I can even plant more trees over here, like replace this orange with something red. That might be nice. And I'm not sure if it's worth it to alter these purple roses over here, even though it's not matching my red and white theme. I feel like it's also not really hurting it too bad either. I feel like red and purple kind of go well together. They're both kind of near each other on the color wheel. And what I really want in this spot is like a red rose, but I don't really have all that many red roses. Maybe I'll take this one down here. This one's kind of off by itself. And I wonder if the red rose would be better use like right here next to the snowman, or maybe above this gold rose. I'm gonna try it here. There was a lot of legendary Pokemon events that they never released. In fact, I think Shaman was the other event. Oh yeah, like that was the event where, like, I think it took place in Floaroma Town, which Floaroma Town is the one that has all the colorful flowers, and I think you could, there was like an event where you could get Shaman in that town, but that one wasn't released either. Yeah, I've seen criticisms about Sinnoh. Some people think that Sinnoh has like way too many legendaries, which personally I think it's a fun aspect of the region. I like beating the game and catching like Cresselia on Full Moon Island and going to another area and catching Heatran. I love stuff like that. I think it's fun to go around catching legendaries, but I do remember like I've seen some rumblings online of people who think that Sinnoh has like too many legendaries and has too many like moves you have to learn, like defog and rock climb, and that the loading screens are a little long. Those are the big ones that I see all the time for Sinnoh, but I still love it. I'm trying to get a hybrid of all the kinds of flowers in my town, but they just don't breed anything. Yeah, it is a bit of a longer grind in Wild World to get the flowers that you want. It just takes a lot of time. I know in New Leaf, things like the fertilizer and watering flowers helps a ton. Like, honestly, I don't even consider growing hybrids to be much of a challenge in New Leaf because of elements like that, like the fertilizer and watering flowers, but in Wild World it's definitely more of a challenge. But one effect of that is I still get super happy when I see a new hybrid pop up. Like, that's one aspect of the game that hasn't gotten old. I still really just love seeing hybrids pop up every time that they do. So it's definitely really rewarding, but it's also a long haul. Like, it'll take time to get all the flowers. I love that, so much lore that was implanted into Pokemon. Yeah, I agree. I have a lot of fun with that region and all the lore in it and all the Pokemon that represent these grandiose subjects like space and time and and even God. There's lots of funny memes online about the fact that Arceus is basically God, and it's just so fun to have a Pokemon like that exist just for the memes and also just for the big weighty topics, you know. I think it's fun. So this is the progress on our little red, white, and gold garden so far, I guess. I think it looks nice enough. Like, I probably shouldn't go too wild. Like I was talking about earlier, winter's gonna be over before we know it. The end of February is gonna be when it's spring grass again, so maybe I shouldn't, you know, go too wild. It looks pretty good. Is it possible to duplicate items in Wild World? That's actually something that I've never done personally, but I have heard that the duping trick does sometimes work in older games, but you do the duping trick through multiplayer, so with your problems with multiplayer, you might not be able to do that super well, but yeah, the way the duping trick works is usually like turning off the Wi-Fi as you're saving during multiplayer. And so to have problems with multiplayer, you might not be able to test it out. But yeah, I guess I wonder what other sorts of things I could do if I'm starting to get happier with that garden. I don't know if maybe I should keep fine-tuning it or like move on to something else. I think I might plant some fruit over there that's more like red fruit. So maybe I'll see if I can get my hands on some like apples or cherries or cedar saplings. In fact, I know I just walked out of that room, but I'm gonna see if I have cedar saplings in there. Maybe I can replace some of those trees with cedars. So I have some of these regular saplings. Let's see if I can find some cedars. Nope, no cedars in here. Bummer. So maybe for this, maybe I can be done with this character for now and load as Twisk again. Maybe Twisk has some cedars in her dresser. But yeah, maybe like after stream today I can fine-tune a few more plans for my New Year's Eve stream tomorrow, like whether it's working on some finishing touches to get my towns nice and festive for New Year's. In the case of this town, preparing this town for New Year's, I simply have to get to the right date. Like, it's currently still in Christmas in this town, so I'll need to travel forward a few days to get to New Year's Eve. If they do confirm a Sinnoh remake with every event that was originally a DLC exclusive, that would be the most common criticism for what people didn't like about the Sinnoh games. Yeah, that would be cool if they do remake the Sinnoh games to make sure that every Pokemon that was in the originals is there, like Arceus and stuff. That's an interesting thought. I haven't really thought about that before. I would just be so happy to hear any news of a remake, you know, since I love those regions so much. You know, I'm definitely kind of on the lookout for any sort of announcement that they're going to be working on those next. They are next in line for the remakes. So this dresser has a few cedar saplings in it. It's a shame that my dressers are so messy. I have thought about before that maybe, like, maybe in the past, in the future, like, I've thought about, like, reorganizing my dressers so that every single dresser is perfectly planned out and has a purpose and I know where everything is, and but it's just very time consuming. You can imagine that, especially now that I'm trying to, like, stream and stuff, like, it's a lot to have to organize my dressers and stuff, so I don't know if it'll ever happen. It's a pleasure to meet you. I've checked out your channel. Oh, thanks so much for checking me out. I really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks so much and welcome to the stream. One cute outfit could be the bunny shirt with an orange hair color and the royal crown. Oh yeah, I'm trying to imagine that. So I guess the orange hair with the bunny shirt would be like a nice little contrast of like orange and blue, because the bunny shirt's blue, right? And then the royal crown would add like a nice little like royal hint to the outfit. Yeah, I could see that outfit being cute. Vepterin page, your texts are getting like a little bit spammy. Make sure to like contribute to conversation and not just say buzzwords and stuff. So I guess I wandered over here to kind of plant some cedar saplings and also apples, so I might need to shake a few apple trees. Oh, hi, Denico. You love this game so much. Oh, it's always nice to meet other Wild World players who also enjoy this game. I love it a lot too. It means a lot to me, both sentimentally, and I also think it's just still quite fun to play after all this time. I still think that there's a lot of customization to be found in creating Wild World towns. Like, you can still make paths around town, you can still do so much with trees and flowers, so I find that it's really fun to kind of revisit Wild World both as like a nostalgic exercise to just enjoy the charms of the game, while also bringing some of these like landscaping goals and hobbies that were more popularized with New Leaf, and trying to also implement those same hobbies into Wild World. I think it's a lot of fun. So I was gonna work on, do I have an axe in my pockets? I hope I do. There's a few presents. Is this more stuff for Butch? Oh no, one's a snowman and one's a pastel dot rug. So the pastel dot rug was actually for Bob. So before stream we need to remember to write Bob a letter and attach the pastel dot rug and send it to him as a present. But it looks like I don't have like an axe in my pockets. I wonder why. That's so weird. I usually always have an axe on me. Maybe I'll go see, like, just for simplicity's sake, you know, I know I could rummage through my dressers, but that would involve walking all the way over to my house. Maybe I'll see if like Nook has a axe at his shop and I can just buy that and use it to plant a few trees. And if he does have an axe, it'll be half off. Oh yeah, here it is. Only 160 bells? That actually doesn't seem super cheap. I mean, how much is it usually? Is it normally like a solid 300 or 400 bells? What are your most important posts for you in your blog? I might not be able to recite the titles off the top of my head, but I definitely, like, some of the posts that I'm most proud of are the ones that are showing off, like, a lot of my landscaping, like, whenever I would do a landscaping project in Dafdilly, like, the springtime landscaping and the winter candy theme and stuff. Those are some of the blog posts that I feel like stand out the most because they're basically, like, little galleries that showcase the intense like projects that I went through to make my towns pretty. I also love how neat your town is. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, this is my town Dafdilly that I've had since 2011, and this was the town that kind of started it all for me as far as becoming more of like an online Animal Crossing player. Like this is the town that I first Wi-Fi'd in and had friends over to this town and visited other towns with. So it is quite a special town to me to have it for so long and to have it be that special place in my heart where it's like, you know, kind of where I first started interacting with other players online with this town. I thought maybe I could replace this peach tree with something else. Maybe, I definitely think like an apple tree would be good there, and I do have like 3 apples in my pockets, might as well plant an apple tree here. Like the overall goal, of course, for this particular area is to make it look more like red and white and green and festive colors, things like that, not so much like the colorful like oranges and pinks that were over here before. Do you play New Leaf too? I do. I have a few New Leaf towns. I have one New Leaf town that's pretty much all done. It's I finished it last year actually. And then I have a few side towns that I sometimes work on stream, which I'm hoping to make more progress on before New Horizons comes out. One of those towns is called Lorien, and it's kind of this elven forest-inspired town. It's going to be this kind of elegant forest. And another one is called Bywater, and it's going to be like a more cozy rustic town, kind of inspired maybe by like English countryside towns or like the Shire from Lord of the Rings. Those are sorts of towns that I'd hope to kind of make more progress on before New Horizons comes out, but if I don't finish those towns before the new game, I'm not going to beat myself up too much, and maybe I can like carry over those ideas to the next game, you know? Like if I don't finish Lorien or if I don't finish Bywater, maybe those are like landscaping or aesthetic ideas that I can play with in New Horizons. So we also got a snowman, which that's kind of a cute item. I might go in my house and show you all what that item looks like. It's really cute. But probably don't need the rock guitar. The pastel dot rug, that's gonna go to Bob, so I need to buy some stationery to send that to Bob. Do you have the golden axe? I actually do. I think I like transferred my golden axe to my side Wild World town. My other Wild World town, Suncomb, I think has my golden axe right now, because that town is even more of like a work in progress than this town is. This town's actually mostly like the way I like it, but Suncomb has a lot of work to do on it, so I thought the golden axe could be put to more use over there, so that's where my golden axe is, I think, right now. So excited for New Horizons. I have money saved to buy it. Oh, that's really nice that you have the money all saved up for it already and stuff. That must be like really comforting to know that it's just a matter of when it comes out, when it hits the shelves, and then you can go get it. I did get a Switch for Christmas, so I'm all prepared for it now too. I did wait quite a while to get a Switch. It's been out for several years, but I'm glad I waited because now I have the one with like the longer battery life and stuff, so that'll be nice to make use of. So I guess what, I wandered over here and I almost forgot what I was doing. I guess I was planting a few more like red fruit trees over here to kind of go with the color scheme that's over here for winter right now. And then I need to mail Bob a letter. And it's cute to see Melba keeping us company over here. Melba's walking around near the snowman. And thank you for the follow, Danico. I appreciate that. And so I definitely think like an apple tree would look good in the spot that I'm looking at right now where the tree stump is, but I'm not so sure if maybe I should, maybe I can just leave the peach tree there. Maybe the peach tree kind of goes well with all these pink flowers that start to pop up over here, so this might be the last sort of like red fruit that I plant over here. I think everything else is pretty good. Is there any possibility to save this stream? I need to go to sleep, but I'd like to see the whole video. Oh, well, that is something that I've been thinking about lately. I don't really want to clutter my main YouTube with like tons of like stream re-uploads, because I know that probably not a lot of people watch whole streams, but I was thinking that maybe I could create a separate YouTube channel that's basically just stream re-uploads, and that way they would be like a nice little archive for anyone who wants to put on like a cozy Animal Crossing stream like years down the line. It might not be very common, but I've done that with a few of my favorite Animal Crossing streamers. Sometimes I'll like put on like a past stream and enjoy that. So I might do that. I might like create a YouTube where I upload this. Well, thanks again, Danico. And just a random question, who's your all-time favorite villager? Let's see if I can find her. She's actually in this town right now. Oh, here she is, yeah. My favorite villager. She's like feeling down in the dumps right now, but it's Melba. I love her a lot. She's my sentimental favorite, and I also just think she's so cute and has such good taste in furniture. I love her house. Oh, but she's sad right now. I wish I could cheer her up somehow. Don't you wish you could do more for these villagers that are like sad and upset and actually like improve their mood and make them happier and stuff? All you can do is just kind of wait for the mood to pass. I feel like this stationery is just perfect for Bob. We're mailing him a pastel dot rug, and look how perfect this this stationery is. It has pastel dots on it. So I wrote, isn't this stationery just perfect? I think this carpet will match your place. Because what we're sending him is this pastel dot rug over here. And hopefully his house will look a lot nicer after this. His current rug really doesn't match his place at all. I thought this rug would be a lot nicer, and hopefully he'll actually use it. I do think it's a bit of a random chance occurrence whether they actually use the stuff you send them or not. Like sometimes they'll put it in their house and sometimes they won't. So yeah, this is going off to Bob. And that's it for mail today. I hope to see that new rug in his house soon, and hopefully it'll look a lot better. Ooh, so there's a classic sofa, a kitty baroo, and a jack-in-the-box. Probably stuff that my villagers recently dumped in here. I don't have room. Maybe I can just get rid of something that I don't care too much about. Like shove an orange in here. An orange is actually Dafdilly's town fruit. It might not be super obvious because Dafdilly has so many fruit in town, but yeah, orange is actually the town fruit, so that's the least valuable one in here. It's only 100 bells to sell to Nook. Can villagers change their floors and walls? Yeah, they actually can in this game. In New Leaf they can't, which I think is really annoying. Like, say you want to redecorate your New Leaf villager's house to something new, you actually can't really in New Leaf. But in Wild World you can. You can have a lot of fun with sending them lots of carpets and wallpapers. Sometimes I even have fun, like, with my favorite villagers, I'll send them like Sahara wallpaper. I don't care. I don't need all the Sahara wallpaper myself hoarded in my dressers. Might as well send it to them. So that's something I have fun with in this game. Oh, I like her lily pad catchphrase. I think that's cute. Even once you found a fossil, don't go digging like a madman, Sunshine. Fossils are very fragile, like poor Lily. She's referring to herself in like third person. You have to treat them gently. Well, I'll keep that in mind. I feel like there's not a good way in this game to be rough with the fossils in any case. All you have to do is dig them up pretty much and take them over to Blathers. Oh, thank you, Pokemoon. I had a lot of fun too. I hope you have a good night and see you again next time. I really appreciate that you enjoyed it and stuck around and had fun chatting with me about what you can do in Wild World. Yo, what's up? How you been, Sunshine? Listen, this is totally out of left field, but do you know any cool chants? I kind of want to get a new greeting that people might chant at me someday. Problem is, I've been having a brutal time coming up with something cool. I'm so bad with greetings, I'm gonna pass on it. I have fun with catchphrases sometimes, but the greetings I don't have fun with because the greetings will replace with whatever they initially say to you normally with something else, and I find that that comes across kind of artificial. You're like a Animal Crossing Wild World teacher for me. Oh, well, that makes me happy that I can be that role for you. I hope that you've found it helpful and it's going to help you out in your town. So I'm going to get rid of some of the stuff in my pockets. And, you know, they're definitely very full right now. And maybe go show you all what the snowman looks like, because it's really cute. And see if Butch is ready for some more furniture. I did order some furniture just for Butch, because he's collecting chic furniture right now. And I feel like it's been a little while since we've talked to him. He might have a new favor for us to do. Oh yeah, and this comfy sweater. I need to remember the next time I play with one of my side characters to go pick up that sweater. That's kind of why I dropped it. I thought it might be a cute sweater for, like, another character to wear. And I feel like I forgot to plant a tree right here. I did, didn't I? Isn't there supposed to be a tree right here? And I was gonna plant an apple, but then just never did. So better plant that before I forget. So earlier when the sky was like really bright pink and like a really super vivid bright pink or reddish color, like it sort of matched puddles really well, that pink frog that I have in my town, but I feel like this weather right now, this like purple starry sky, it matches Bob. This is like Bob's time of day when everything's all purple. It's a bit of a bummer, but I think what happened is that I didn't plant the tree right away because I ran out of apples, but now it's like I don't know where the tree was. Where was it? Was it like here or here? I guess I'm gonna try planting it here, actually. But we'll just see if it grows tomorrow. I guess it is a possibility that some of these trees that I've planted might not grow the next day, which will be a bummer, but it's a risk that I took in order to kind of be happier with this area in the winter time. I love how each villager has their own flower garden. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Like, this is Lily's garden. Lily's garden has lots of like the blue and white and red flowers because it matches her house really well. Her house is like red and purple. And then Bob's house over here, it kind of matches his house too with all the blue and yellows. And I've got my two beach houses over here, like with lots of cosmos, because I've always associated the cosmos with like tropical style flowers. They look so summery to me with their like bright colors and their kind of almost sun ray-esque petals. Like each flower just kind of looks like a little miniature sun to me. So I like to plant cosmos by the beaches. And ooh, I just saw like a stray yellow pansy there. That's not supposed to be there. Probably wasn't really doing any harm back there anyway though, but I like to keep track of like my spare flowers and make sure things don't get out of hand. But yeah, I am pretty happy with how this area is shaping up for winter. I think it looks a lot more like fitting now, a lot more like white and gold and red, how I want it. So I'm going to plant a white pansy here to kind of add another white flower to this area. And then I guess as far as further refining this area, it's just a matter of like loading the next day probably and making sure that these trees grow. Melba's changed her shirt a few times today. Remember how earlier she was wearing that purple dress and now she's wearing this green sweater? She's really changing her outfit a lot. And she's thinking hard about what her next hobby is going to be. And this is Melba's house right here. She's my favorite villager, and so I tried to like have a nice home here by the river, near the bridge, near the town hall. And it might be hard to see because a lot of her garden is wilted right now, but it has lots of like purple, red, and pink flowers. And it kind of leads you up to this area over here that has lots of red and pink and purple flowers, which is around this house here. So yeah, I really like the garden arrangements I've made for Dafdilly too. I think they're really suiting for the villagers that live in the homes and really suiting for the town. Oh, it says my battery's running low. Isn't that such a helpful thing that Wild World does? Part of me wishes New Leaf would do that. There was actually this time recently on stream where I was playing New Leaf and the battery actually like ran out on me. Like I was playing and the screen just went black and like I lost all my progress that day, but it's really nice of Wild World to kind of remind me that the battery's running low. So I thought I'd walk over to see if I can find Butch again. It looks like Butch is inside now, so maybe he'll ask for another furniture piece and I can give him another little piece of furniture. Oh, look how stylish his room is looking. I remember earlier in stream, I gave him another couch because I ordered modern furniture for Butch and hey, I ordered a modern couch and I tried to give it to him and he actually fussed at me for giving him a duplicate. Like he got really mad that I was trying to give him duplicates, so it is funny to see that couch over there and know that that's why he got mad at me, is because he already has one. You remember that the entire stream was cut off because of the battery dying? Yeah. That was quite the stream there. Like hours of work, like wiped out like that. My new furniture looks like it was custom made for my place. Yeah, I guess we gave him this inn table over here. It does look very at home with the rest of his modern furniture. It's definitely looking very like modern and stylish in here. What do you think about chic furniture? Sophisticated or not? Chowing down on sushi in a room full of that stuff? Now that's living. So he likes to envision himself chowing down on sushi in this room. Just trying to take a look at what the furniture is in here so I don't give him another duplicate, but I guess since he's still asking for chic furniture, I can run over and see if one of the items that I ordered for Butch is not a duplicate and see if he wants it. Yeah, I was kind of working on Lorian during that stream and made some progress on some gardening, and you were keeping me company, and then the progress was lost, yeah. So I really appreciate Wild World here kind of giving me a heads up that I'm running out of battery. So I connected my charger. That's my gray charger cord right there. And there is a flower missing right here. Better... I know what usually goes here. What usually goes here is a red tulip. I know my garden's that well, but I guess in the meantime, while I wait for a red tulip, I'll just plant that pink one there. So earlier in stream, to avoid the clutter in my pockets, I did drop Butch's furniture over here. So we've got the modern sofa, which he already has, modern table. I don't think he has that. He does have the modern bed though, so if I'm gonna give him something, it better be this modern table. The modern table is like that kind of glass table, which I can show you in my house. I also wanted to show you that snowman item because I think it's really cute. But I feel like if I drop it in here, like my floor is gonna give out. I'll have to pick up something like this to show you what the snowman is. Isn't that so cute? It's basically the same thing that you can have outside and you can put it inside your house too. I think it's so adorable. I wish I had a spot for it in this house. I might not really have a good room to put the snowman in. But something else that's really fun about something that happened on stream is that this Jack-in-the-Box randomly appeared at the it randomly appeared in the recycling bin, like it was junk that someone threw out, and I've always actually really wanted to put it under this Christmas tree, but I just didn't have it in my dressers. But now I can put it underneath my Christmas tree. I wonder which one of these items I should get rid of. Maybe this dolly? I feel like this dolly isn't super cute. I'm gonna pick up this and then move this over here. And then maybe put the red dolly right here, so just kind of rearranging the presents under my tree, which now that I think of it, honestly I should probably start unarranging, but it was just so satisfying to get this Jack-in-the-Box that I really wanted for this room, to like find it randomly in the recycling bin, so I wanted to at least put it in my house for a little bit. After all, it is Christmas in my town today, technically. So now that we have the modern table, I'm gonna go find Butch and give it to him. And then I might think about like wrapping up stream today pretty soon so that I can rest up for tomorrow. Tomorrow I might do like a longer sort of like New Year's Eve countdown stream. I think that might be fun. Might need to do some preparations tonight to get ready for it. And there's Melba walking around. I feel like Melba, every time that I've talked to her today, she's just like thinking about what to do for her hobby next. Like she's just really like thinking hard about what she's gonna do next for her hobby. So here's at Butch's house, and we'll see how he likes the modern table. I feel like he could put the modern table like where one of these sofas is. Oh wow, he has two sofas. Or he could put it where the stereo is, and I really hope he doesn't replace the stereo because I like the music that he's playing. Oh, that's good. I'm glad that you might be able to make it tomorrow, Red. So here's the modern table. I hope he puts it someplace good. Let's have our fingers crossed he doesn't put it where this stereo is. Oh, thanks so much. I really appreciate you all ready to stop by tomorrow, even if it's just for a little bit. I know that, you know, New Year's Eve is an exciting time. You might have other things you want to do tomorrow, of course, but really means a lot that you're thinking about stopping by. So now for the moment of truth to see where he put his modern table at. Oh, he replaced his TV. So I'm not thrilled about that because I kind of like what the TV added to this room. I felt like the TV kind of went well with like the other hobby items. Like he's got this dartboard here, he's got a stereo. I felt like the TV really went well with that vibe, but oh well. He had to put the table somewhere, so that's where he put it. He looks so cute in his little winter sweater. Feels like he should be wearing something like a tuxedo or something really flashy and cool to go with his room, and he's wearing like this like cozy blue sweater. My new furniture looks like it was custom made for my place. So we'll probably ask for yet more modern furniture. So let's try to like take a good look at what's in this room as far as modern furniture goes, and then maybe go see what we can order at Nook's for Butch tomorrow, because I'm sure he's gonna keep asking me for modern furniture. Might as well have some more on the way to give to Butch later. Although now that I think of it, by the time that I'm playing in this town tomorrow, it'll probably be several days ahead, because I want to catch up to New Year's Eve in this town, so we'll see if Butch is still collecting this furniture when it comes time for, like, New Year's Eve. All products are being offered at half price. I wonder if that includes the catalog items. Like, I know he's talking about more of the items in his store, but I wonder if the catalog items are half price too. So let's scroll down to the modern furniture. I feel like he might not have the modern lamp or the modern desk, so those are good ones to order for him. I feel like it's really satisfying for me to help out with the furniture collecting hobbies in particular, because it often does make the rooms really nice. Like, you can just picture like how messy the rooms get in this game, and then like after a nice solid furniture collecting hobby where you give them like 5 or 10 pieces of furniture, like it just looks so much better afterwards. So I find these are actually some of my favorite hobbies to help with. My favorite furniture set would probably be the citrus or alpine sets. Oh yeah, those are really cute. My favorite set when I was a kid was the citrus series. I used to have Tangy in my town as a kid, and I was always really jealous of her growing up because I found it hard to collect all the fruit furniture. Like, I think I had a few pieces of it, but not nearly as much of it as Tangy did, so I was really jealous of Tangy for all her fruit furniture. So let's see here, we've got the desk and the lamp, and he's already got some of this stuff. I don't think he has the chair. I'm gonna order the chair for him, and that might have to be it, because I think he has a lot of this other stuff in his house already. I'm sure he will be. I remember villagers don't change their hobbies for a long time. Yeah, they do keep their hobby for a little while though, but I'm not sure if maybe he's already had this hobby for a while, so it might be time for him to wrap it up soon, you know, just through, he might have already had this hobby for like a week or so now, so it's hard to keep track, you know. I don't keep a microscopic eye on my villager hobbies. Alright, so I think this is not a bad way to wrap up stream. I ordered some new furniture for Butch. I accomplished a few like kind of gardening, landscaping type things in my town. Like I feel like this area is kind of like a little bit more cleaned up now, where it goes from colorful to more like red and white over here. So I think it's looking a bit more neat and clean now. Just picked up that pink rose because it was kind of bugging me a little bit. So, thanks so much to everyone who stopped by and streamed today, and I hope to see you in the future. It was really nice of you all to drop by and keep me company and chat with me and stuff. Thanks so much. And so I hope you all have a great day and a great New Year's Eve and New Year coming up, and take care of yourselves and have a good one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.